Hello and welcome to Echoes from the Deep. I'm Samuel McCullough, and today's episode is sponsored by Frax, our wonderful partners here at Leviathan News. They have a great L2 where we have squid. You can go and buy it. I actually just turned on a TWAM order today. It's a time-weighted average market maker. And that order is going to be buying squid over the next month. You can go and see that on fax.frax.com. Let's get into today. So Base dropped a token, and it went exactly as you could imagined. They announced the token on Twitter, on their official account, and then soon after, like a couple of seconds later, Jesse Pollack, who's the head of Base, tweeted it out. The token was called Base is for Everyone. It was a continuation of this meme that they put out back at the end of March. It was this cute little website that you could go to and type in anything that you wanted to, and it would pump out Base is for whomever, right? And while the trolls on CT went and filled it up with every horrible derogatory term possible, in just a few minutes. It was just another one of those marketing plays that, was nice and clean cut, probably approved by legal. Didn't really have any value other than to be like a nice little art piece that you could come and use. And that's fun, right? And that's kind of what Base has done with their marketing ever since they launched, like way back when. Like when they first launched, they've always been about like, come mint this like free NFT, like come do Base Summer, and we're gonna have a bunch of like cool NFTs that you can mint, and we're gonna have like a Bridge to Base NFT, and we're gonna bring in the NBA, or like I don't know. They had all these different campaigns that they ran over the past year or 2 years, and they're all pretty fun. I mean, they kind of like fall in line with what Base is supposed to be, which is like Coinbase, Fed chain. Everything is branded right, has the right feel, feels a little bit safer. I think that I've heard the term that Base is like a B&B, but just for white people. And so, yeah, it felt good. I mean, it's like an Apple marketing thing. They have a really good marketing team over at Coinbase. But yesterday, they launched this token for an unknown reason, right? And they did it on this platform called Zora, which is where they had previously launched all of their tokens. And those are NFT, though. Those are like, okay, here's a limited amount of time. You come in, you can buy the NFT. You have a day, and we're going to take as many mints as you want to. And then after that, all these mints are going to go out and just trade on the open market. That was great because it was open to all. Everybody got the same mint price. You could mint like 100 or 1,000 of them if you wanted to, because it was so cheap. And they almost had this like meme coin feel with some of them, especially if the supply got big enough. But at the same time, they have really not been able to become any sort of like degenerate place. Like Zora is like really niche. It's for like NFT creators who want to like drop their artwork on there, and it's got a really solid following, but it's not really getting anything outside of its core community in terms of growth. You just look at the chart. They have a like massive start in the beginning when there was these big marketing campaigns, but it's really trailed off over the years. But they still are doing like a significant amount of volume. A month ago, they launched this like token creation thing where you could take any piece of content and slap a token on top. And this goes down this growing idea, and I believe it's been accelerated since Pump came to life, is that everything should be tokenized. Every idea, piece of content, person, object, really, like if you can visualize it, if something can be an idea, then there should be the possibility of a token as well too. I don't know if this is like wrong. I mean, nothing about it makes it seem like logically wrong. Like if you can think of an idea, you can create a token. I guess the question that we should ask is, do we even need them? And who's going to actually buy and sell them and create enough demand? Because I don't think that Pump really cares about like what tokens are being made. They're just a factory. So like the more tokens, the better, right? If everything gets tokenized, it's just more fees for them. And so Zora has switched over to this model. Really, like just within a day, right? Base goes from being like this nice little corporate chain to trying something radically new and jumping headfirst into the speculative trading aspect of crypto, which I thought we were all moving out of. We had this narrative for the past year of Pump really dominating. But once Trump got elected, that kind of died down. There wasn't really these massive launches happening there anymore. I think on Pump specifically, the platform is built for maximum profit extraction at the user's behest. Like the amount of tokens that graduate and make it to the real market is infinitesimally small. And then even smaller is the amount of tokens that make it more than a couple million market cap. I think there's like 3 or 4. There's like 1 over a billion Fartcoin, and all the other ones are just in purgatory, right? And part of that goes to the ability to make these tokens. When it goes to zero or like near zero, you have an explosion in tokens. So I checked this morning on CoinGecko, and there's 17,031 tokens that they have registered on the site. And I looked at Dune after that, and Pump, just in the last 24 hours, there's 34,000 tokens that were minted. And almost all of those have gone to zero already. Zora, and Jesse specifically, is now trying to create this thing called like a content coin. So a meme is just anything that people want to do. It could be like a dog or a picture or God knows what. But it should be an idea that people like and think that other people like this meme. It's the kind of perfect instantiation of the Keynesian beauty contest, where, you know, Keynes thought that trading specifically had more to do not with what you liked, but with what you thought other people liked. So you were escaping yourself and moving beyond into this second order realm where you said like, oh, okay, like what do I think that other people are going to like enough that they will buy it? And then you can go to like the third realm, right? And say like, okay, well, what are people going to think about the people who are going to buy? And it just goes up and up and up, right? This continuing ever laddering of like, okay, well, like let me move like one level above and think about like what the preferences are, demand preferences are for these assets. And so the meme coins are exactly that. Like you may like a meme coin, but you're not going to buy it unless you think other people are going to buy it too. Because if you buy it and you think that other people are going to sell it, well, then what's the point, right? You should just sell it and take your funds and get out. And if we accelerate this to the maximum, which we've done over the past year specifically, you get to the point of max profit extraction. Like even before these tokens graduated, it's just rug. There's like professional rugging teams out there that hype up these tokens, build websites, like socials, the whole gamut. And they're just a production factory. And they're just taking thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars out of the market every single day. And nobody gives a shit. It's just wild. I don't get it. But at the same time, Pump has been making an insane amount of money. Like I just looked today and it is unbelievable. I think that in total, they've made $500 million in fees since launch. Their 30-day fees that they've collected is higher than Aave, Hyperliquid, Morpho, Sky. Just go down the list. Like throw in every single DeFi project into this list, and they're making more. I don't even think they're making half of what Pump is making right now. And I think it's really messing with product designers' heads, because their investors are telling them, why aren't you generating revenue like this? Look at what Pump has done. Pump has found product market fit. They're making money hand over fist. So just build products that do that. Notably, Coinbase invested $58 million into Zora. They want a return, and Zora's fees have been like in the gutter. Like you take a look at their chart, and their fees have just been like zeroed out for the past several months. And they want to return. So they that's why they use Zora in all their marketing campaigns. That's why Jesse's out here pushing a token that's on Zora. They've made hundreds of thousands of dollars since this token's been launched. So yeah, like if Base is like, I'm skeptical. Like I think Base is doing a great job. Like if I had to judge Base on how are they doing, if you were going to want a company to run an L2 for maximum shareholder profit, which is the whole entire point of running a company, right? Is to return profit to your shareholders. In that case, I think they're doing a great job. They're making millions of dollars a year in fees from Base. They also have several investments into projects on Base that are returning them a lot of money. And a lot of their marketing campaigns, if you go back and look at them, are geared around projects that they have exposure to. But at the same time, like the big projects that have grown on Base are not Coinbase connected. The number one DEX is not Uniswap, which Coinbase might have some exposure to. I'd have to check. It's Airdrome, which started out really small and grew into this behemoth. And then on the lending side, you have your traditional players there, but Coinbase is like a nice, clean environment. Like all of the design work is very user friendly. It's easy to get in and out as it's supposed to be. It's the home of USDC and CBBTC and CBETH and all these other things, which Coinbase specifically supports for Base. And so like I look at this and say, okay, great. Like they've just now unlocked a new way to kind of maybe bring some degenerates over, which I don't think is going to happen. Like Base is not a degenerate chain. Like you don't go to Base to go, like shitcoining. That's not what you go there for. You go to Base because it has really good USDC liquidity, and that's mostly it. It feels like the right place that you want to have USDC. And they have some good apps there as well too. Some nice like fun apps. Base Paint is great. I think there's some other nice social apps as well too. Overall, it's a nice ecosystem. But you can see what Pump has done to scramble the minds of everyone on the Base product team, because I'm sure they're being told increase revenues. We have no apps on Base which are generating anything close to the revenue that Pump is. So just build something. We have to compete with them. And so here we are. Zora's turning into this place for like Instagram content where every single post that you make is now a token, which is weird, right? Because like the whole point of tokens is that the value that exists is no longer in the thing itself, but it's transferred to the token. You no longer have control over that value as the content creator. You've given it up completely. I think there's something like deeply nihilistic about the token launches like this. Like if you're a creator and everything that you're doing is just geared around like launching tokens, which you might, you're trying to like tell your followers like, okay, buy the token. I made some content, but buy the token. It's a very like, it's perverse in a sense that your content is no longer the singular focus of what your production and publishing is. Instead, it becomes the token. Like you make content to make tokens price goes up. And I think that's deeply conflicting. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that the content creators themselves, the incentives will shift when they start to do this. I think my point that I'm getting at is like, I don't have a problem with like other people making memes about the thing itself. Like if you look back at the Chill Guy meme where the creator like wanted nothing to do with it until they gave him a bunch of tokens and then he like max extracted value out of it. He probably made more money with that than he did over the past 10 years of doing artwork. It's just wild. So do you want your business to be a casino with a content production social aspect to it? Or do you just want to be a casino? And that's why I think Pump's place in crypto is not threatened right now, because Pump isn't trying to be anything but a casino. You go there, it's very degenerate. There's lots of blinking lights. There's not much difference between it and a slot machine. Probably worse odds as well, too, when it comes down to it, with all the rugs taking place. And do we really want that for Base? I don't know. I don't think so. I want Base to be clean and corporate and Coinbase-y, with ads that have been signed off with legal and probably came from McKinsey or some other like consulting firm telling Coinbase how they should do stuff. I mean, they have a great team. So like, why mess it up with introducing speculation into the official comms, right? Profits at the end of the day. I don't know. Am I wrong on this? Am I moralizing too much? I might be. Because when I look at Pump, I don't have a problem, right? Like I look at Pump, whatever. Who cares? It's memes. The people that take part in this meme casino, whatever. They might lose money, they might win money, but they know what they're there for. When you have a Instagram-like app, which now has a casino on top, somebody's going to get burned, and it's probably a lot of retail. Not saying that retail's not getting burned in Pump, but when you have explicitly, okay, here's a retail-focused app, which is like trying to be a social app, and now everything has a token, it's going to have some really wacky incentives. I'm sure they'll make some money. Good for them. You know, Coinbase shareholders will see the value of that returned in the Coinbase stock. It's just strange, though. If I was a builder, I would be very questioning about the Base ecosystem as of today. And I've talked with some builders, like, you know, why not me, right? So, anyways, that's going to wrap it up. That was a bit of a rant, but we have to talk about these things. So, thank you so much for being here, and we will be back tomorrow from Echoes from the Deep. You can find us at leviathannews.substack.com, and we'll see you again with the next tide.